She smirked in court like she'd already written my eulogy. He's out. The company is mine. Her voice didn't tremble. Mine didn't either. When I said, "Congratulations," everyone thought it was over. My fall. Her victory. But I knew something she didn't. The game wasn't ending. It was only moving into my arena. We built the company together, Sienna and I. She was the strategist. I was the architect. Late nights, shared coffees, whispered dreams about legacy and loyalty. My father had trusted her, too. She's sharper than most men I've met. He'd said he was right. She was sharp enough to gut me clean. When he died, the company, his empire, fell to me. Sienna offered to help handle the transition. I should have noticed how quickly she drafted the legal documents, how easily she convinced the board to restructure. But grief blinds even the cautious. The first crack appeared 6 months later. I found duplicate contracts on her assistant's computer. Mine forged, hers notarized. She'd been siphoning assets, manipulating signatures, building a paper trail that painted me as negligent. By the time I caught up, she'd already whispered poison into the board's ears. Daniel's not stable since his father passed. He's making poor decisions. They believed her. Everyone did. The morning she testified against me, she wore my father's cufflinks. I don't think she noticed. I did. They glinted like mockery under the courtroom lights. She spoke with practiced grace, her lies dripping like honey. The judge nodded. My lawyer whispered, "We might lose this." I stayed silent because I wasn't fighting for the company anymore. I was fighting for something far cleaner, retribution. That night, after the verdict, I drove to my father's old house. The place smelled of cedar and dust. His study was untouched, books lined like soldiers. The safe behind the old portrait of him and me. The combination still worked. Inside, not stacks of cash, not documents, just a single USB drive. Labeled in his handwriting, in case of betrayal. My father never trusted people easily, except her. I plugged it in. What I saw didn't just shift the game. It annihilated it. Sienna wasn't just guilty of corporate theft. She'd been moving funds offshore under a name tied to her brother, a known fraudster. There were signed statements, hidden video clips, boardroom recordings, everything. Evidence that would not only destroy her career but indict her entire legal team for collusion. I didn't take it to the police. I took it to my lawyer. He opened the files in silence, jaw tightening. When he finally looked at me, there was fear in his eyes. "Daniel. This could bury them." "I know. What do you want to do?" I smiled. "I want them to ask me that question." The next morning, it began. Her lawyer called first, voice trembling, polite, then another, then all of them. By noon, desperation leaped through their rehearsed calm. "Mr. Vance. Please. The court cannot see this. We can negotiate. I said nothing. At 3 p.m., Sienna herself called. Her voice was steady, but I heard it, the tiny crack beneath the control. What do you want, Daniel? Everything you took, I said. And something you never had. What's that? My silence. By evening, the board convened an emergency meeting. She arrived late, disheveled, no smile this time. They whispered as I entered the USB drive between my fingers. I've reviewed new evidence, I told them. Sliding the drive across the table. Concerning Sienna's management of company assets. A few tried to protest. Until I clicked play on the first recording. Her voice filled the room. Move the funds under Horizon LLC. No one checks those accounts. Her face drained. The room fell into silence so heavy it felt physical. Then came the second clip, her promising a board member a personal stake in exchange for voting against me. By the time the video ended, the board's loyalty had already shifted. Predators smell weakness fast. Effective. Immediately, the chairman said, Miss Quinn, you are suspended pending investigation. She didn't speak, didn't even look at me, just gathered her papers, hands trembling, and walked out. But it wasn't over. I don't believe in half measures. Her reputation collapsed. Within days, every outlet ran the story. Corporate betrayal exposed. Whistleblower reveals insider corruption. They didn't know who leaked it, only that someone had been watching all along. Her accounts froze. Her lawyers withdrew. The same people who'd stood behind her now refused her calls. Power is loyal only until it fears you. A week later, she showed up at my office. No cameras, no guards, just us. Her voice was barely a whisper. You ruined me. No, I said, you did that. When you forgot who taught you the game. She looked at me then, really looked. Something broke behind her eyes. For the first time, she wasn't the woman who won. She was the woman who gambled everything and lost. Was any of it real? She asked. I almost told her yes. Almost. But truth isn't mercy. It was, I said, until you made it business. She left without another word. The board reinstated me. The company was mine. Again. People congratulated me, called it justice. But justice isn't satisfying. Not really. It's quiet. Cold, surgical. That night, I sat in my father's study, the safe open beside me. The USB drive still on the desk. I thought of his handwriting. In case of betrayal, he'd known. He'd always known. I poured a glass of his old scotch, raised it to the empty chair, and whispered, "You can rest now." Then I deleted the files. Not out of forgiveness, out of finality. Some wars aren't won when your enemy falls. They end when you no longer need them to. And as the last file vanished from the screen, I realized she'd taken my company, but I'd taken her future. In the end, that felt